Good morning and welcome to episode 1, 4, 2, 4 of Down to Dunk. You can find us on The Athletic and anywhere else. Just subscribe to your podcast. Go to theathletic.com/down2dunk and get The Athletic for $1 a month for 6 months. I am Luke. Joined this morning by Andrew.
I gotta say, I'm just fired to be here today. It's pretty cool. Pretty damn cool.
Slam through.
Taylor.
He got snubbed in the guys. I snub. Slam through.
And Jay.
It's Jay.
How do you make your F's whistle?
You went.
It's a 13.
Oh,
You just
an
did
F.
it.
I just did it.
It's an F.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then follow that up with
Yeah, I feel like we're heading somewhere we shouldn't go. This early.
Bar.
So All Stars were named last night, and it's International Snub Day.
Yeah, that snubs and snub.
That's
snub,
snub.
Baby, make snub go.
We're gonna head right into Tayshawn's to discuss these snubs.
John's back toy bigger in victory. John's back toy bigger in victory.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Tayshawn, and this is my victory dictory. This is from Reddit. Sniffly Moth 416 says if Trae Young doesn't make it as an injury reserve, he'll be the second player in NBA history to average 25 points per game, 10 assists per game, and 55% true shooting to not make the All-Star game. The first player to do that, can you guess? Any guesses?
What were the statistics?
25, 10, and 55% true shooting.
Deion Waiters.
Nope.
Hold on.
Close.
Give me a decade.
Within the last 2 to 30 years.
It's a long time.
Yeah. I'll just tell you.
Give me a decade.
I'll just tell you. It's Trae Young.
Oh.
Trae Young is the only player to be snubbed twice
So
with
hold on.
those stats.
Oh, twice.
If he doesn't
Wow.
make injury reserve this year.
Mm-hmm.
This is a trick question.
I agree.
So
Gotcha.
Did they release? I know I could do just a simple search to find this. Did they release how these guys, like who picked who and who didn't get picked? And like, is this the rest of the teams are decided by coaches?
Yes, by the coaches.
So
Yeah, there's no more draft this year.
the way you would think about, well, what I'm saying is like, this isn't media
Okay.
plus coaches.
Yeah.
So what that says to me is that like Trae Young is not a highly valued guy comparatively
Mm-hmm.
by the coaches. And I do think that if you look at like Julius Randle is for sure going to miss the All-Star game with a dislocated shoulder.
It's very likely.
So at that point, you're going to probably get a replacement.
Mm-hmm.
And I would assume that's Trae Young. Is he the biggest snub in the East?
He is probably the biggest snub in the East. There's not that many guys in the East.
No, the only other guy I could think was like Jimmy Butler, maybe.
I was going to
but
say
he doesn't
Jimmy,
play
but
he
much.
hurt a lot.
He hadn't played enough games, probably.
Oh, okay.
You also have a lot of people are saying Derek White,
Yeah.
somebody, but I don't
mean,
think you can
come
put
on.
3 Celtics on there, especially Derek White being one of them over Trae.
I think the zinger you'd put over Derek White.
Yeah.
He's been. I mean, Derek White's really good. I get it, guys. There are a lot of really good players in the NBA.
You were on that Derek White hype train way before.
Now I got to slow that train. That train is out of control.
out of control.
So I don't know.
Some of the other guys in the East that they're talking about, Scotty Barnes. I don't think the Raptors are good enough, but same argument.
I was
for the
going to
Hawks.
say the Hawks. I mean, Scotty's had a great season.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty's been really good.
Miles Turner, Jared Allen. I've been
Eh,
really impressed by this. The Cavs not only staying afloat
Yeah.
while their guys were injured, but actually going on a little bit of a run. I think they're top 4 or 5 in the East now, and
4 seed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jared Allen is going to have a chance to be an All-Star again.
I would like to put Miles Turner in ahead of him, though.
Miles is fine.
Let's just put another Pacer on there. Pacers are like the fun team in the East this year.
so
Yeah, they're fun.
as we always talk about, though,
Mm-hmm.
is if you're going to put somebody else in, you don't just get to add them to the roster. You have to remove somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So who would you put Trae Young in over?
Well, I mean, luckily in the East, there's already 2 guys that are going to miss. So Trey may get in by default because Embiid's not going to play and Randall's probably not going to play.
Do you think they're going to try to find bigs though?
I don't think,
Not for the reserve, but
I don't think they care.
okay.
I don't think they should care.
Well, who's going to start in the East then in Embiid's spot?
I mean, I just slide Bam.
Yeah.
into
Were you
that
kind of
spot.
surprised Julius Randle made it?
No,
Yes.
he's been awesome.
Really? Maybe I'm just holding the start of the season over.
Yeah,
he was like really
bad.
bad.
The Knicks have won 9 in a row.
Yeah, they're really
And
good.
Julius is been-
OG coming over has changed that.
That
entire
is
team.
the thing.
OG
Put
is
OG
really-
in. Actually, that's the reason.
Randall's
Come on,
been awesome. He deserves to make it. How do we feel about the teams that got 2 All-Stars? So the teams that got 2 All-Stars, the Lakers, the Suns, the Wolves, the Clippers, all in the West got 2 players.
I don't like it.
I think Cat is the one that everybody, or at least I would say, is a little bit. I don't know.
It's because everybody hates him.
And he's a good stats. And
Everybody hates him.
do you respect him more? Think of it like this: when your team plays these teams, do you respect this guy? And are you scared of him? Karl Anthony Towns.
Respect is not the way that I would put it, but
I mean, do you respect him enough to be like afraid of him as a player? That
He's
you're
just so. When he wants to be, he can be so good offensively.
like, Mhm.
yeah.
And when he shoots a 3-point shot, it's, I mean, terrifying. Like we were at that game on Monday night,
Mm-hmm.
and that one that he hit that was like late in the game, and it was just I mean, as soon as it left his hands, he had any opening, you just knew it was going down.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Between him and Jordan McLaughlin, which I also think maybe they should have gotten 3 based on his performance on Monday.
He was good. Yeah, I mean, Towns is 22, 8, and 3, shooting 55, 44, 87. I mean,
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, it's
That's
really,
good. That's very, very good.
He's had a good season. He's had an all-star level season.
The one that's obviously doesn't make sense based on record is the Lakers, but it's hard to deny LeBron and AD.
Yeah, I know.
Now, the likelihood of both of them, I mean, I would assume a LeBron is going to play in the All-Star game, but
Yeah.
and they had that weird, I guess they rested the other night against Boston
Mhm.
and then still just ran over the Celtics, which is one of the strangest losses
Yeah,
of the
that
year.
was a really weird one.
Kind of
last
like
night.
the Thunder.
It's also gotten to the point in the season where LeBron's being weird and cryptic on Twitter, and then he's unhappy with
Yeah,
the
but somebody
team.
said that the time thing was just because he was doing some partnership with DraftKings or something.
I don't know.
Isn't that what happened?
It's still cryptic.
Still cryptic.
Still cryptic. There's also some guy
Can't
out
believe
there.
that.
Have you seen this tweet floating around? Is some guy that apparently accurately predicted him
Mhm.
going back
Yeah.
to the Cavs, him going to the Heat, and a couple other things, is saying that they've got a trade partner for the Lakers to get LeBron.
Mhm.
I don't have any clue why they would do that, but
I mean, he's a free agent after this season's over.
where would he go? Who could give him a opportunity to win a championship
Mm-hmm.
and give the Lakers what they would feel like? Was it not? You can't do comparable or equal value.
Yeah, I mean, especially on an expiring contract, 39 years old. Like, what are you really going to give?
Everything,
I mean, I wouldn't give everything.
not everything.
But
I mean, Miami.
because he could just sign
Probably.
somewhere new next season.
Yeah.
So
You're basically like
we're talking about who would get him right now this year, or who would get him where he would re-sign next year.
3-month rental, maybe. How much would you pay
Yeah,
for a
'cause
3-month rental of LeBron?
He does talk about the fact that he wants to go play with Bronny, and where does Bronny get? But we don't. I
It sounds.
don't know if Bronny's even come out after 1 year. He's had such a strange year at USC this year.
So it sounds like something a team that would do it would have to be really stupid and have to kind of make stupid decisions like this
Mavs.
in its past.
The Mavs.
The New York Knicks. I think they would do it.
The Knicks have turned over a new leaf, man. They haven't done anything dumb in a long time.
I know but
But
they're
they
due.
also, but any of their younger assets that they would trade over to the Lakers, they're gone. Like they got rid of Randall, or excuse me, of RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly. Like who would they?
Mhm.
Who do the Lakers want? I know the Knicks have some picks.
I actually could see.
Yeah.
I could see him signing
Picks.
there at the, like, if not trading and signing there next season.
I do think that they would be, if they could keep Randall, Brunson, OG, and then add LeBron to that mix. I think that's a pretty legit. and
What
New
a
York
funny
would be hopping.
conversation.
But I don't know. I can't imagine that this would happen.
I
Unless
mean, they
he
have the 18. They have the 18.8 million Evan Fournier contract, which is helpful. They have, let's see,
Do you think there's any? But
Josh Hart makes 12.9.
is there any reality to that
To what?
idea that the Lakers would trade him?
I mean, if LeBron told them to, and
Hey,
then
I'm not going to sign here. You
Like
need to
I'm
get rid of me.
leaving. It's up to you.
It seems more like he would just tell them fire the coach and get a new coach. Let someone else.
He might do that and then still leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is like
True.
this is classic LeBron here. Is that he bleeds the team dry of assets, puts them in a position where you know you're not going to win, and then he leaves.
And then he's mad, and then he leaves.
He
This
could
is-
go back to Cleveland. Cleveland could put together a pretty decent little package.
But why
Yeah.
would you, it would be really dumb, I think, to trade, do the exact same thing, bleed your team dry to get him for 3 months where he could just leave. And then
Yeah,
like,
but for
what
that-
could possibly be worth that?
I mean, a championship for some teams,
No, it's not.
Can a 39-year-old LeBron James lead your team to a title?
not by himself, but if he joins a team that is already
Yeah, but you got to trade so many assets that
he
would
has been
help you get there. To do it.
unbelievable this year.
He's been good. He's been good for sure.
He's been very, very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's just old.
Anyway, any other schnubs?
I mean, there's plenty of snubs out there.
Well,
This
give
is
'em to me.
International Snub Day.
Woohoo! I love Snub
Some
Day.
people say Rudy Gobert is one of the biggest snubs.
Nope, that's just fine. No one wants to watch Rudy Gobert in the All-Star game.
Brandon Ingram.
No. I mean, fine. You could make a case for any of these guys. Who does
Who you
not
taking out?
Yeah, I was about to say who does not deserve to be in comparatively. You would say Cat probably.
Cat.
Would you replace Cat with Brandon Ingram?
Sure,
Maybe.
whatever.
Would you replace the other one's De'Aaron Fox? Like the Kings don't have anybody.
I know Fox and Sabonis both have been really good this year. They've been snubbed, absolutely snubbed. Larry Markkinen has had a great season.
Yeah, that's a
Snubbed.
big snare.
So who
Um,
do you
Jamal Murray, snubbed.
anybody not going to play in the West?
I mean, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard are always on the list. Anthony Davis is always on the list.
That's what can we dude, I'm sorry I'm on this tangent game today.
Mhm.
Alex Spears. I'm coming after you, buddy. No,
Oh,
like it is justifiable that there is a healthy fear towards what the Clippers are doing on the court right now. And to look forward and say, man, that's the team that I'm the most nervous about the Thunder pulling in the first round or even however.
Sure.
But we cannot ignore every single offseason or postseason that they've had.
I'm with you with this.
It's like maybe slow down on the hype train for the Clippers until they are healthy for
Yeah.
any amount of time
Yeah.
consecutively.
I'm totally with you. I'm totally with
Because
you. on that.
they are. I think they're the best team in the league right now. But it's just I don't trust them.
Wish he loved this. Wish he would support our team.
I do.
no,
I mean-
I'm afraid of the Clippers too.
I am too. But
Kawhi's game totals since 2017-18. So this is 5 years. 52, 52, 57, 60, and then 9. Not 69, but 60 and then 9.
Ha, still
Um,
69.
He's already played 42 games. Like, do we believe that he's gonna play 78 games and then play all of the playoffs when like his knee problem is not just like, oh, it's taken care of. Like they say this is like chronic and something that is going to get worse with time. And so like, do we really believe that he's going to play? I need to see it to believe it.
Mhm.
Like if the playoffs started today, yeah, everybody would fear the Clippers. But it's all wait and see. Like I can't. You can't project them. Even Paul George. And how many times has Paul George gotten to the postseason, and he's too banged up to be effective?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's happened a lot.
Also, James Harden just not.
And also, James Harden is going to find some way to poop out of the toilet in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Poop out
my-
of the toilet.
You've made
How
that
did
reference a
that
couple
happen?
times.
My
Is there
my
something-
butt was on the toilet.
Is there something I missed?
I mean, that tells me that you haven't listened to the Monday podcast in 2 weeks
I did.
because
Ooh.
Michele mentioned it. He said it is an Italian phrase.
Okay.
Like
okay.
that's how it translates to English.
I know
when-
you said that phrase. I just didn't see the Italian.
Yeah.
The part of it.
Yeah.
I didn't listen in
How do you say it in Italian?
Poop out of the toilet is an Italian phrase.
Mhm.
Of course.
It's like we say like wet the bed or something. Like, oh man, that guy wet the bed.
Hey,
The Lakers really wet the bed.
he poop out of the toilet.
James
they
Harden
don't say
poops
it
out of
in
the toilet every
English, but-
postseason.
Yeah, he poops out of the toilet every single.
If it's a
postseason.
game 7, poop all over the ground, just
Yeah.
around the side of the toilet.
Yeah.
That's, it looks. Yeah, it's a terrible.
Any other snubs?
It's a terrible sight. Şengün,
Nope.
Uh-huh.
Wimby.
Can't.
No.
No, no.
Kate Cunningham?
You know,
Okay, Cunningham.
it used to matter. It still matters if your team is like good
Jalen Duran?
because you're good.
Yeah. What team on here is the worst team with an all-star? The Magic? Pacers?
No, Pacers are 60, dude.
I know, but I'm saying like you still have to have a worst team.
I mean, Laker. I mean,
Lakers.
honestly,
Yeah,
you know who it
Lakers.
is? It's the
Lakers.
Warriors.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Warriors.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
It's the Warriors. I have the worst team to have a player in the All-Star game. Yeah, that's one where it's like, I mean, definitely legacy. If Steph was just having this season and had never made an All-Star game before, he would not make it this year.
Yeah. No, you're right.
He's had a good season, but there's just ain't no way that he would make it. But here he is. He is a legend and awesome. And he deserves to be in the All-Star game.
Yeah. It goes back to like that. I think you always try to put Trae Young in that conversation of shooters with like Dame and Steph, and like he can shoot from anywhere
Mm-hmm.
on the court. But the way he shoots from anywhere on the court is not the same as where Dame and Steph shoot anywhere on the court. And you can see that by how the coaches think of him, because they do not. I wonder if coaches even considered putting him as an all-star. They probably did, but not for very long. I think he's the type of player that coaches just don't. Maybe they think it's easy to scheme him out, or we don't really have to worry about him that
Mhm.
much.
Yeah. He's really good.
He's really good, but when we play the Hawks,
He's also kind of hateable.
very hateable, and I just don't consider him as much a threat as maybe his stats should make me feel when OKC plays Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, and their team just stinks too.
Yeah.
You know. Let's see, where are they at? Yeah, they're 20 and 27. I mean, come on.
Still in the play-in.
Come on. LaMelo snub.
Snell could sneak up and do some damage.
They could sneak up and do damage. Yeah, I think that's a probably pretty comprehensive snub list. What about
Zion? Zion snubbed?
No,
I mean, Zion, he hadn't played enough.
Come on, man.
J Dub snub, J snub.
I think the J-Dub snub, y'all talked about this on
I think I
the Zach Lowe podcast,
some
but
people just don't know yet. People just don't know.
I don't know how you don't know. But Dub not being invited to the Team USA,
That's the
So
biggest.
it's a snub.
That's the biggest
41
J
players,
snub.
and J-Dub didn't make it. That's a
Snub.
snubbing.
that's a snub.
That's a snub.
And you take all the international players out of the pool. too.
That's a snubbing.
wow.
That's a J snub.
Oh,
We hate that.
That's his new nickname.
You hate
Make the
that.
shirts. J Snub.
Why you so efficient?
J snub. Chet.
Nah,
Nah.
I get it. It gets hard because once again, who are you going to replace
Cat.
with Chet? Feels a little early to do that, but I mean, I
like
would
it.
on a personal level.
Yeah.
I'd replace everyone on the West with our entire team. How about that?
Yeah.
I agree.
Isaiah Joe,
snub.
They're all there.
Snubbed. Micic.
Aaron Wiggins.
Snubbed.
Hey, man.
Aaron Wiggins definitely snub.
Yeah, he was snubbed. You think he feels snubbed?
No, I think
Yeah.
he is so excited to be able to not like either just go to vet. Because, dude, if you're an NBA player,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
a lot of guys on All-Star Weekend will travel out of town, right?
Cabo,
Am I mistaking the Super Bowl for All-Star? Where's the All-Star Weekend this week?
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
You are.
Okay, never mind. I thought it was in Vegas. I was like, everybody's going to Vegas. Nope, Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Not quite as fun. That's right, because they put it.
Did you just break it?
No, I'm telling you, I didn't touch anything. I am purposefully not
Jay?
touching this table.
I disagree.
You are. You're leaning because you're not putting feet.
What do
on
you
the
want me to
bottom.
do?
You're leaning too heavy on the top. You're breaking the top.
Just stop breaking stuff. That's what we want you to do. Just be a respectful
Just be
guest.
Guys, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I forgive you, but Andrew doesn't.
I'm working on it.
What a good win for the Thunder on Wednesday night, huh?
Yeah,
Solid.
solid.
Obviously, no Jokic, but the Thunder didn't have Dub, didn't
We're
have
done,
Joe.
and we're out of January. January, I don't know if you guys knew, 2 years long.
Oh
2 years.
man,
This
it
one,
was
2 years.
so many games.
17 games, 5 back-to-backs, 11 road games.
Ugh.
Woo!
You could see it on their faces.
Terrible weather.
The weather was terrible.
Oh, it was so bad.
Oh, don't even get me started on the weather and my dreams about it.
You have no idea how many of those guys are trying dry January. Changes the game for them.
I saw a stat that 50, it was like a third or 50% of people that regularly drink were trying dry January this
Yeah,
year.
you
I
know
don't know
what-
how they found
You know what
that
that
out.
leads to? Wet February.
Yeah. Just sopping.
what they-
Really moist February.
That's what they call it.
That's what they call it.
Wet Febby.
But it was a good win. They needed that. I mean, they needed to win that game, especially without Jokic. It was a weird game. It was an ugly game for the most part. Shea was ridiculous. I mean, Shea, honestly, I believe is the second best player in the NBA. Like, he's so incredibly consistent. He has the most 30-point games this season of anybody. His defense has been really good. His passing has been really good. All-star starter and like deserves it. Like, he's much better than like all the other guys
Yes.
in the West, like a lot of the other guards. I mean,
He's probably minimally 2 in the MVP voting.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think Embiid is going to, from what I know, that there's a lot of mixed kind of how severe was the injury, but like a slight tear in the meniscus, which is one of the potential things. Like, he's going to miss minimally the amount of games that it takes
Mhm.
to qualify for that. So then it's Jokic. If the Thunder finish the season with a better record than Jokic, and Shea is doing this for the entire, I don't know. I think there are going to be people, because Jokic already has 2.
I know. Fatigue.
If the Thunder finish higher, he'll win.
MPP
Wild.
fatigue.
He'll win the MVP this season.
Well, hey, and do you think that is cool?
I would say it's cool.
Do you like that?
I would say I like it.
I like it.
Man,
I
that's
like
some great
I like
questioning.
MPP.
Che
SGA.
SGA
They go,
MPP.
Che,
SGA MVP. Chant it when he's at free throw line.
they do.
Yeah. Well, they're just MVP.
No,
SGA.
Che
it's
VP.
really hard.
Che
And then just a big sigh.
VP.
I'm sorry.
Just a collective sigh.
Che.
Man, I'll tell you though, and did you go to the Nuggets game, Andrew?
Mhm.
The arena, wowzers. Monday night felt like a legit playoff game.
It was loud. Not a lot of people in the upper deck, though.
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Not a lot of people in the upper deck.
Oh, sorry, he didn't hear you.
Che.
What?
B.
It was loud. It was definitely loud. It wasn't like 100% full though.
And then, I don't know. I just heard when Chet hit that 3 towards the end of the game.
It got loud. It definitely got loud.
I think you forget what playoff games actually sound like. Like, you think it was like playoff
All I'm
games?
trying to say,
I
what I'm
think you're
trying to
wrong.
Yeah,
lead
I
up
think
to,
we have
guys,
forgotten.
I
It's
think
been a long time.
I think you forgot.
I think it's going to be real hype this offseason or this postseason.
Oh yeah.
I think it's gonna be wild.
Oh yeah,
better be.
baby.
If
better
we
be.
can get, do you think we'll get $10 playoff game tickets again this year?
No.
Oh man, I don't know.
I think we could. Because tickets have been cheap again this year.
Yeah.
But I think maybe we'll get $15, $20 playoff game tickets. And if that's the case, it's sellouts, baby.
I mean, they better. I mean, you have to sell out the playoffs.
Yeah.
You can't sell out the playoffs. You're in trouble.
Sell outs.
They should sell out against the Wolves and the Nuggets.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Those are big games against like the top of the West, and you're at the top of the
Yeah,
West.
but I think it's still like the people that are coming back around this
We
season.
just got back on that new channel.
Yeah, and the people that are coming back around, they may not be like, they know that the Thunder are good, but they may not know how good the Wolves are, because why would you assume that if you haven't been around in a minute?
yeah, I
The
don't know.
Nuggets.
Plus,
I mean, the Nuggets won the championship.
Plus,
I'm
the
just
other
saying.
thing, the other thing is that a lot of people right now are focusing on football. They're all looking at the football and the Taylor Swifts, and that once that's
Hey.
over, then they're going to be like,
Hey.
"Hey, what about the NBA?"
And then well,
Can I tell you a pet peeve? I don't like when people are like the Taylor Swifts of the world, the Karl Marx of the world. You know what they say?
okay.
So like the
I don't like when they do the thing of the world and then they just name the list of all the people they're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the best players in the NBA, the LeBron James of the world, the Lucas of the world, the SGAs of the world. It's like, okay, you just named the whole list, and the point of that, phrase is to imply everyone else that's in that category with that person.
Mm-hmm.
Just peeves me off, man.
Who does that?
A lot of sports media, like a lot of people in sports
Mm-hmm.
media, just do that. It's a
Mhm.
pretty common thing on radio shows and ESPN and stuff.
Hmm.
So I don't like it.
The ESPNs of the world.
Exactly, the ESPNs of the world. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's
I
just.
did-
a
I'm sorry
quick
you
pet
have to
peeve.
deal with
I
that.
did-
Quick pet peeve.
I didn't mean to offend you, even though I don't know if I said that exactly. I think I said the Taylor Swifts.
No, yeah, you said the Taylor Swifts, and that's what made me
That
think.
means
Of it.
Taylor Swift and her Swifties.
Oh, okay, the Swifties.
Hey, also, did you say Karl Marx?
He
Oh,
did.
yeah.
He did.
I've never. Maybe you have, but I've never heard somebody say it's the Karl Marx of the world.
The Karl Marx of the world, the whoever else.
Trying to
I
think.
can't do that one.
This take was pretty bad.
Yeah. No. The pet peeve was good.
How often does it happen to you, really?
It's happened 3 times this past week.
Did somebody say
listening
Karl
to-
Marx?
And you're just driving
Not
and just
Karl
like,
Marx.
Raging.
Ah!
So
Yes.
peeved.
Just don't. Just say the list.
Mm.
Just say the list. Don't add of the world to every name that you say.
My biggest pet peeve is when people put eyelashes on their car.
That's a big one.
Oh,
That
it,
is a bad one.
it only happens on
Slug bugs.
VW bugs.
slug
yeah.
bugs.
I've seen it on others, and it's
Oh, it's just,
How do you feel about like reindeer, like the antlers and
also out on.
antlers and stuff?
I'm also out on that.
Not the animal themselves. I'm pretty indifferent to them.
Best thing about not reindeer, but the light reindeer, like that, or like light
Yeah.
Christmas lights shaped like reindeer,
Mhm.
going around in high school and making them hump.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Except when you get chased.
we got chased once.
Really?
Yeah.
By a homeowner?
Yeah.
We just got on the
By
highway.
what?
By a homeowner. We just got on the
Homeowner.
highway and just started driving until he just said they're never gonna stop.
That's the weirdest way you could. You said one word. You took 2 and made 1.
Yeah.
Homeowner.
That's the Andrew Schleck special. by the way.
Homeowner is one word.
Homeowner.
Homeowner.
Owner. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Maybe.
Homeowner?
Homeowner.
but-
Have I been
homeowner,
saying it
not
wrong this whole time? And-
Homeowner.
Homeowner. It
Homeowner.
might not be one word. I don't know.
So like bookkeeper.
You said that with such confidence, as did I.
Feels right.
Neither
But
one of us
keeper.
are.
It is one
100%
word.
sure.
It is one word.
Boom. Homeowner.
1 and J 0.
Can you give me a
How do you
pronunciation
get
on
points
that?
for this?
I think it's
it's one word.
homeowner.
Homeowner.
It is. It's homeowner.
I
Bookkeeper.
said it's one word. That's why I got the point.
Bookkeeper. That's
Yeah.
a good one too.
All right.
Beekeeper.
That one-
Beekeeper.
That one still feels normal.
Beekeeper.
Okay, that felt a little less normal.
You about to get some advice. If I can find it, and I'm about to, let me tell you about it. someone wants some wisdom. David asks. He says he's considering purchasing his first house, but he's concerned about starting this endeavor before he's more established in his career and relationships. Also, after hearing some of the Miffed and Peeve stories about home ownership, I'm worried about the mishaps that can happen.
Coming up.
Any advice on the process would be appreciated. Thanks for doing the pod. You're welcome.
My dad bought a house before he knew who my mom was, before he had a family, everything like that. And he bought a house big enough for a whole family. And they still live in that house.
Wow.
Seriously.
Still the same house.
That was probably different though, because
Definitely
you could buy it for like
The house is probably $30,000.
Yeah, it has a 2-story, 4-bedroom house on a lake with a huge backyard.
Yeah.
paid for it one paycheck.
Yeah, it was probably $70,000.
Now, to be fair, the interest rate was probably in like the teens.
It was in the 80s though.
In the teens.
In the teens.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Back then. That's another reason why you might wait a little bit right now. The interest rate is like
Interest rates are bad.
There's
really
a chance that they're going to be reduced at some point, although the Fed is kind of waffling on that.
I
But
know.
Oh man.
likelihood that they may be decreased this year.
Yeah.
So the thing, if you can, getting a nice starter home, even though now that's still prohibitively expensive for a ton of people, is great. Because what it basically is, if you can do it, it's like a forced savings plan.
Mhm.
Like you have to
Yeah, that's a good word.
put money into this. You have to do it. You
Mhm.
cannot, you have to budget for it. It's like number one in your budget. But at the end of it, if you put money into it and you're there for, 5 years, 10
Mhm.
years, you're going to have a nice chunk of change there.
Yep.
That when you sell it, you can then put down payment on, perhaps a different
That's how
house, a
you-
bigger
it's-
house that can fit your growing family life.
That's how you do it.
The chunk of change is also called equity.
Yes.
I would
Equities of the
I
world.
agree. That's what Amy and I did, but we were also married when we bought our first house, but
Mhm.
we were really young. But
it was about 9 years ago. When I bought my house that was in the village,
Mhm.
and then went there, and glad I did it. It was
Yeah.
good. It was good.
Well, and
And,
it's 99.9% of the time, homes are like one of the most like guaranteed appreciating values.
yes, that's
Mhm.
true.
Cars, you buy it off the lot, it's going to depreciate within
You drive it off.
Yeah.
You drive it off
Seconds.
It's
almost
yeah.
everything else is depreciating. But a house, in theory, I know there's been times where the market, like the 08 financial crisis, the housing market was where most of the loss started.
Mhm.
And when that happened, obviously houses lost some of their value. But if you look over the last 3 or 4 years, it puts a lot of people in a bind that are trying to be first-time homeowners because the cost for houses have grown
Oh, yeah.
30% for us, I think,
Yeah.
at our house. But if you can get in, if you're able to do it, I would try to maybe wait until interest rates did decrease a little bit. But if you
Mhm.
can get in now,
Do it.
it's going to appreciate.
The other thing, if you're handy,
And then rent it. If you can not need the equity from the house to buy your next house, if you
Mhm.
can rent houses, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
man.
the other thing is that if you get a house that like you would deem like a fixer up, that you can buy for cheaper and
Yep.
redo it while you're living there, slowly but surely.
Andrew, you know about that. The house before this one you had to do some work on.
Yeah, we did a lot
We
of
had to
work.
tear out
Well, I missed
a pee carpet.
We did.
PP
Tear out a
carpet.
piece- and we did a lot of work on this house too.
And so if you do that,
Oh, really?
that is a really good thing to do.
Even if you have to take your time.
Yeah.
Right. The failure, like the hard thing for like my family is we don't have patience when it comes to wanting to live into a house. So it's like we bought the current house we had. We were with our grandma for a while and we wanted everything basically to be done
Oh, yeah.
before you move in. Because the likelihood, some people like the Schlecks are a little bit different, but the likelihood is once you move in, you kind of become normalized to the house. And so
Yeah.
you'll do more before you
Oh, yeah.
move into the house than you do like the first 5 years of being
Like
in
when
the
I
house.
Mhm.
when I moved into where I live now, I didn't move in for the first 3 months because
You
I
like
had-
gutted the whole house basically.
yes, and during that time I lived at my parents' house and it was terrible. So I did that.
And it,
Going back and forth all the
was
time.
terrible. Hey,
But,
let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna do some Twitter questions.
Jimmy.
And we're back. And it's
where's-
time for what?
Where's my song, baby? You not playing my song?
I'm trying to intro the song.
Oh, well, play it, baby.
I would imagine.
Jimmy.
Play
the song.
You got questions and you ask them on Twitter. Now we answer them for you. This is Twitter questions. Let's get down to it.
Our first Twitter question comes from @FergieFresh24, who doesn't have a question. Says not really a question, but my wife will be having our second daughter in the morning. G and Beat over here.
Wow.
Keep up the good work, gents. Thanks for keeping us all entertained
Wow.
all these years.
Two-daughter crew, what's up?
2 scoops.
2 scoops a girl.
Let's go to our next. Congrats over there.
Hey guys, Puxatawny Phil this
Yeah.
morning did not see his shadow. Breaking news this is from Adam Schefter.
So what is that? Adam Schefter?
That
early spring
Get outta here, Adam
the
Schefter.
hamster,
The Adam Schefter.
the
groundhog,
the
groundhog.
groundhog.
guinea pig.
Get out of here.
So wait, what does it mean again? I
So
forget
he
every
did-
year.
Told you.
He didn't see a shadow. That
Early
means
spring.
Wow.
We've already been experiencing early spring this week, haven't we, boys? It's been a beautiful
It's true.
week.
Been beautiful.
Been
That's
just
been beautiful.
beautiful.
It's been just beautiful. Hey, our next Twitter question.
2 scoops.
2 scoops comes from @Zach Deeg. He says, "Are we sure that J-Dub won't be better than SGA in 5 years?"
I mean, you can't be sure,
I mean,
but he didn't even get invited to the NBA freaking Olympic thing.
Dude,
Yeah.
SGA might win MVP.
It's just
Can
going to
we-
fuel his fire,
I think J-Dub is going to be really, really good.
because his fire's fueled right now.
Shea is
We're going to rest on his
Literally.
laurels.
Year 2, J-Dub, 18, 4-4,
Oh no.
53, 45, 80.
He's about to give you year 2 Shea, and then
it's like 4 points.
Year 2, Shea, 19,
Oh.
5-3, shooting 47, 34, 80. He was pretty good in year 2.
very good in year 2.
That was his first year here, if you don't remember.
I tried to block out most of that year.
Really?
Wasn't that COVID?
No, but that
Yeah.
was Chris Paul year. That was pretty fun.
There's a
It was
lot,
fun.
Really?
there's a
Really
lot
awesome.
going on, Jay. I forgive you.
Thank you.
Uh,
This is such a fun year until it wasn't.
yeah, for
That season was so fun, and then it was like, oh man, the whole world's ruined.
yeah.
That was a fun playoff series though.
The bubble.
The Rockets one.
The bubble
Yeah.
one.
In the bubble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was weird. But yeah, I think it is so far and away unlikely that J-Dub is this good. I mean, to predict that he makes just like this jump to being literally the second best player. I mean, he would have to be the best player in the league. Like if
Yeah.
he's better than Shea, that means that J-Dub is the best player in the NBA. It is highly unlikely. Is it impossible? No. But it is like so far and away unlikely. I can't even express it because the likelihood that Shea was going to become this was like minuscule.
And I think that
You know.
J-Dub can be this efficient because SGA is on this team. If he was the number one guy, would have to just put up more shots per night. It's hard to imagine that he could keep this efficiency up.
Kind of disagree.
I can
Really?
I can only imagine.
So if he was doing 20 to 25 shots a game, number one guy,
I mean, everybody's efficiency is going to go down whenever they have more volume.
yeah.
But I think he's better than like Cade Cunningham and guys like that.
Oh, yeah.
I think if he was on the Pistons and that was his team, he would be very efficient and probably like 20, 27,
Yeah.
7 and 7. Like I think that that's not impossible.
Damn.
And I guess it would. What's Shay? Do you have this year up efficiency?
Yeah, I do. He's 31 points on 54, 34, 89. 54 is wild. 'Cause if
Yeah,
you-
that's much higher than I thought it was.
yeah, he is, and a lot of it is like in the restricted area. He's like 74%. I mean, it's
ridiculous.
It's outrageous, and
You love to hear it.
he shoots the most shots of any guard in the restricted area in the league. I mean, 54% is a career high from the field. His second year, he was 47% from the field.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats.
Congratulations, Shay. Way to go, man.
Hey,
Keep it up.
let's go to our next Twitter question. It comes from @Aaron_Toller, who says, on the way to school yesterday, my 7-year-old son asked me if Micic chose number 29 because he was 29 years old. Did Davis choose number 9 because he has 9 fingers? I didn't even know this was a thing. And guess what? I don't know, can't speak to why he chose that number, but he technically does.
He does.
He didn't. He
technically.
lost part of his ring finger in a
Yeah.
wood cutting accident.
Does he technically? It's still a finger though.
It's like he lost it right below the knuckle.
Yeah.
First knuckle.
The
Wait,
first
is that your
knuckle.
first knuckle? Where do you start counting? From the
Uh,
base
that's
knuckle
a-
or from the fingertip?
We're talking. I don't know.
I think I count from the base knuckle.
Then it right up. I think it was right. Like look
Is that the third?
between the second and third knuckle.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's weird. Yeah, first knuckle would be. You don't even count base knuckles first knuckle. That's just knuckle.
That's your knuckle.
That's knuckle.
Yeah, first knuckle it has to be one of these two.
Yeah, I think right above the first
I
knuckle.
don't know. Is that knuckle ground?
The
is that
middle
ground,
knuckle. How about
Ground zero
the
knuckle.
middle knuckle. Yes.
Which one's 0? Base knuckle 0.
That's,
Ground zero. Yeah.
Yeah,
and then-
that's ground 0.
so right above the first knuckle, between the first and the second
And
knuckle.
if you're watching on YouTube, I put a picture of Davis Bertans up on
And you can see it.
on the YouTube, and you can.
And I did not know that either. Did any of us know this
No,
before today?
it's a moose
I
knuckle.
feel like when you read the story this morning, I feel like I've read that story before, but
Huh.
I didn't. It's not something that I retained
if Fred Katz were here, we would have known about this
for sure.
first day.
Yeah, definitely.
True.
We would have had 2,000
Yeah.
words on knuckles.
Yesterday, Fred Katz on the Tampering Show. You should all go listen to it. He was talking about trades, and he was like, "I'm not sure if we're going to get a lot of hot action between teams."
Whoa, man.
Fred.
And then
Fred.
and the rest of the show, like we have like a chat going on, like during the pod, like behind the scenes, so like I'm like, just typing just hot action just over and over again.
Hey, if anyone knows hot action when he sees it, it's Fred.
Yeah, no, freaky
That
Fred.
was kind of the understood joke.
Huh.
Just let me state it for you.
And
I mean, no telling where the link to the Davis Bertans article would have taken us.
Hey,
different kind of knuckle.
All right, let's go to the next Twitter question. It comes from @JohnnyThunder16, who wants to know, what's your favorite part of the game day peak experience as a media member?
honestly, everything. I probably my favorite thing is just
Not anything you just did that I enjoy.
Stop. Let me get that spot for you.
Everything
Deep
you're doing-
tissue.
Everything you're doing makes me uncomfortable right now.
Stop. Hit me right there. Hit me right there. No, no, higher.
Andrew, do you like it?
There we go.
don't do that.
Do you like it when I come and say hi to you guys?
Kind of needed.
I do like that, definitely. Yeah, I love everything about it. I mean, it's great. I love standing on the court before the game, watching the guys warm up, talking to people.
Well, your favorite
as
part
they're
of media
walking
day
by.
has to be when Jay comes and says hi.
I do love media dining is great.
Where is
I
that?
do love the snacks. It's like in like the back part of the arena.
Can you serve
Like, walk
like
around.
what kind of food are we like? Or is it? Can you have like dinner or is it just
Yeah.
snacks?
Yeah, it's dinner.
What kind of dinner?
What kind of dinner are we talking about?
I mean, like they had
Like sandwiches?
no. They had on Monday they had meatloaf and mashed potatoes.
Mm,
and
too much.
stuff.
Too
They-
much.
I love meatloaf.
I do too.
Yeah, meatloaf is
too
hard to make.
much.
It was pretty good. They had like a pork loin and new
Okay.
potatoes
Ooh.
and broccoli on Wednesday.
Oh,
They'll do like burgers
much?
sometimes. They'll do.
I just would think like that feels more sit downy, and I'm thinking of something you just grab and go.
No.
No, you can
There
grab
are
meatloaf.
tables
Down.
that we sit down
I
at.
understand that you can do that, but I still feel like I would
And
just
that's what everybody does.
like I don't go to the. I'm not going to the arena and like, hey, do you? Where's the meatloaf?
Where's the loaf?
Potatoes.
You're like, oh, where's the meatloaf? You got to
But
grab
like
one
we're
real
not like
quick.
taking it and like sitting in our like. There's like
I understand. It still feels weird to me. Can it just be weird to me?
No,
No.
we
I don't
gotta
like
question
it. I don't like it.
You know,
I don't like it.
This is
meatloaf.
getting
One of
weird.
those foods like pizza. Hard to unless we're assuming it's always cooked all the way through. Hard to have a bad meatloaf.
mhm.
Ah,
the,
that's
the
crazy.
best thing they've ever served is this Mexican casserole that we call Mexican barf
Yeah,
because it just looks really gross, but it is so good.
just reminds me of a school, like
And
a
so-
school lunch or something.
Who
Yeah.
started calling it Mexican barf?
You, Andrew. You.
It
Did
was
you christen it?
this
Mexican
was
barf?
years ago. I can't remember who started calling. I think it might have
Royce.
been Royce that called it Mexican.
That does feel like a
barf.
Royce thing.
Yeah.
You put ketchup on it?
Yeah, he definitely puts ketchup on it. I don't. I mean, but he
Really?
puts ketchup
Really?
on
He's
everything.
so,
Not a
he's so
salsa?
great.
Oh,
Yeah.
a salsa?
Yeah, he's great. I put salsa.
That's Andrew's
Yeah,
buddy.
I put
Like
salsa.
every time I come up there, they're sitting next to each other.
It's great.
Although he doesn't have dark mode on his computer, and it really freaked me out when I
Yeah,
saw
that's
it.
true.
Like his Twitter is like
Wow, really?
blazing white.
That's
Really?
mine too.
I was like,
Really? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I
It's
just
better in every way.
he actually
Yeah.
had a great reason, but I'm not going to share it on the pod because it's kind of offensive.
oh,
but
never mind. Mine's dark mode.
no, he was like, this one feels like actual Twitter. When it goes into dark mode, it feels like X, and I just can't do that.
I've had
Oh,
mine.
that's
I've had mine for years.
I was going to say dark mode for.
I know,
years
but it
and
still
years.
made sense. I was like, oh yeah,
yeah. I get it.
Sure.
It's a branding thing for Royce.
He's wrong.
Man.
but that's okay.
Can we talk about? I mean, how many? I don't even know if I would be in this podcast if it wasn't for Daily Thunder.
Yeah.
It's just like groundbreaking.
They broke ground.
I broke it. He broke ground.
Yeah, he broke ground.
Well,
Well, hey, I got a question
mashed
for you.
potatoes and meatloaf
No, I like that.
pre-game. That just feels too heavy. That's what I'm going for.
I don't think meatloaf is that heavy.
mashed potatoes and meatloaf.
I mean,
that's
it is a
heavy
loaf
meal.
of meat.
It's pretty heavy.
It's not
And mashed
heavy.
potatoes are heavy.
I don't
pretty
think
heavy.
so. I don't see that
What's
as a
heavy to
heavy
you?
meal.
What's heavy to
A
you?
To me?
heavy meal. Like
Beef is. You're just saying beef. Beef is heavy.
Mashed potatoes, actually, the two of those is what feels heavier.
really?
Yeah.
Because I think like a mac and cheese would be pretty heavy.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
that'll weigh it down. It's the cheese though. I think that does it.
I think it's the carbs. That would do it.
Carbs.
I think it's
I ate a pretzel.
heavy.
No,
That's
perfect.
I ate a pretzel.
Although
Our pretzel.
I'll say, dude, I had the cheese. I was a little murfed and perfed about this.
Oh yeah.
I had the cheese sauce, right? Because you got to get the cheese.
The
You gotta
cheese
get-
sauce with the pretzel.
I don't know. I've got to get salted and I got to get cheese. Anybody go unsalted, no cheese?
No, I
Wow.
go salted and mustard unless it's like beer cheese, like a nice cheese, a nice pretzel.
I don't know.
cheese.
This was like stadium cheese. It was still
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah, I don't like
But I
that.
was like,
like
trying
it.
because
Yeah, it's a Thunder game.
I need a tray at my seat, to be honest with you. But I'm trying to like hold this pretzel and I've got the cheese in the other hand. And we got a cup holder where I sat. And so I got, my beverage there. And I dropped the lid of the cheese and it falls flat on its
Cheese down.
cheese down
Cheese down.
on the
Yeah.
floor,
That's a slipping hazard.
right underneath me.
cheese down, cheese down.
And of course, because I'm still a child, is I don't bring napkins with me. Why would I have a napkin?
Mhm.
You're wearing clothes.
Because
So,
you're
but
not.
then
'cause
the
you're not-
whole
You're
rest
not
of the
preparing to fail.
No, this is the whole second half of the game. There's just cheese right where I stand.
And
And so I'm like straddling it the whole rest of the game.
and
Total inconvenience.
you'd imagine also on your face because you
No,
don't have.
I did okay. I did okay. That I used my shirt for.
No, Jay's got a long tongue. He can basically reach any spot of his face.
Kind of like a lizard.
Yeah, or a giraffe.
Or an
Oh,
anteater.
giraffe. That's more fitting.
Anteater.
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 One word.
One word. So, but did you survive the cheese down?
I probably, honestly, I probably had cheese in the bottom of my shoe because I think it's inevitable. I had to see it. I
Oh,
had to-
no.
I had to
So
see
did it ruin your game experience?
No. It just it just
Were you
made it-
miffed? Do you
no.
even get it? Were you even so bothered that you were miffed?
For a second. I got another funny story. So the guy next to me,
Yeah, because that one was hilarious.
If it's as good as that one,
oh man,
we really
please
need to hear
share
it.
So the guy next to me was working on a in-game parlay where like you bet on, okay, Shay has to score X amount of points and Kat has to score this amount of points, and each one, parlay how that works. You definitely know how. But one of them was, so Karl Anthony Towns had to score a certain amount of points, but then Chet had to have like 25 combined points and rebounds or something, or maybe it was like 30
Yeah.
in that game. And he was hilarious and distraught
Yeah.
the whole game because Chet was
He was really bad.
not good offensively in that game.
Yeah.
You put some money down on a game, it changes.
It also made it to where
changes
he was
you.
like silently cheering every time Karl Anthony Towns scored. He was just like, oh,
Yes.
Hey guys, I'm miffed. I want to talk about it because I don't want to miss being able to talk about it because I'm miffed about it. Yesterday, I opened up my fridge, get out a what I want to be a cold beverage. It's not that cold. It's like a lukewarm beverage.
Oh.
And I looked at my refrigerator. I was like, doesn't look like it's telling. Like it has the numbers. It tells you the temperature. But it's not telling me.
Uh-oh.
So I'm like, what's going on? So I press it around and it starts beeping at me and it starts clicking at me. And I'm like, on the thing. It's like, what does that mean? The refrigerator.
Oh no.
It's gone.
Quick question. When you get in bed and snuggle up, do you say to yourself, lukewarm?
No, because bed's not really lukewarm. I'm warm. I'm warm in my bed. I'm not lukewarm in my bed.
No. Lukewarm.
No, I do not.
Lukewarm.
No. But sometimes when I see myself in the mirror, I say, looking good. So I have to buy a new refrigerator.
Oh no, that's
New refrigerators,
sucks.
guess what? Expensive.
Yeah.
But guess what? They do all sorts of stuff. Do you want one that there's like a computer on it? They have those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the
you don't want that.
what do you have one of those?
No.
You have one?
Oh.
Do you ever want to look and see into your refrigerator without having to open your refrigerator?
No.
You can do it. Knock, knock, and you can see inside your fridge just to make sure
Everything
everything's
that part just is going to break. Like technology is just going to fail.
And it'll
Well-
be very expensive to
Yeah.
fix it, and then you'll just have a regular fridge.
Well, I went out and because I was like, well, I want to go buy a new fridge. So I went out and did last night.
Oh,
Yeah.
And guess what? It's not going to break because I bought the little protection plan.
What
Oh.
kind did you get? Did you get one that you
Ripped
can
off,
knock,
dude.
knock and see through?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Wow.
I knocked it. I was like,
Buying that one.
getting that one. Because the
Like-
thing, and here's the problem.
That fits your apartment though,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Here's
It
the
works.
problem.
Wait. Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Do you have more than ketchup and olives in your fridge now?
I have a lot of beverages.
Do you have more than just ketchup, olives, and beverages?
No.
Okay.
But here's the
Why
thing.
would you need?
You
The
need like
knock-
a,
here's the
feature.
all
thing.
you needed was like a countertop fridge.
No,
Yeah,
here's the issue. The issue that I have is that
Ketchup
where
and
my
olives.
refrigerator is, it's like cut into it's into the thing. So I'm working with pretty set dimensions. So I didn't realize how deep they're making refrigerators these days.
Yeah.
They're making them deep, too deep
You're talking.
for my kitchen.
You have to buy a counter depth one.
counter depth.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Guess
We
what?
just did this.
Guess what? I can look
Yeah.
into it. Guess what?
And
Good
we
decision.
have talked
Check out
about
this
some
one
of
in
the
there.
most boring things today.
Hey,
The best things today. Y'all want to relive my cheese sauce
We're
story?
talking about cheese sauce and mortgages.
Never felt so old.
Oh my gosh!
hey,
Hey, listen,
Oh man.
Karl
Marx.
Marx. This has been like the weirdest
That has to be the
Podcast.
description. Karl Marx, mortgage
just
rates in refrigerators.
refrigerator, counter
Welcome to-
depth
welcome to the
refrigerator,
Friday
and
pod.
cheese. Oh my gosh! Hey, listen, Steven Adams was traded yesterday.
Oh.
Can we talk about something real?
no, Rockets, man.
He's not playing this year, right?
Yeah. No, he's not. He's not. Yeah,
Well,
this is for next
So
year.
it's for next year.
I feel. Does it feel wrong to think like don't want him to play for the Rockets.
That's not wrong.
No,
That's right.
That is the correct feeling.
Not in a, but I'm like, not to the point where I would feel like maybe his knee is never going to be the same.
Jay,
Like,
Yeah.
that feels wrong,
Jay, come on,
right?
Jay.
I mean, he has not played a ton of games. Obviously, recently he hasn't. But
Are the Rockets trading for him? Because they gave what, Vic
Vic
and
and
2 2s.
I think 3 2s. Yeah, I mean,
So you're trading for Adams on purpose, like not
Yeah.
trying to just move salary around or anything.
yeah. So this year, obviously, he's not played at all. 42 games the year before.
Mm.
He did play 76 in 21-22, but then 58-63 back to 19-20, his last year with OKC.
Mm.
And we know, too, and maybe Houston doesn't know this, but Steve-O wears down.
Yeah.
Throughout. I mean, that's happened since he was like 25.
Yeah,
But he's probably coming off the bench for them because they're not going to move Şengün.
He's coming off the bench for them.
So he's going to play less minutes. Like in
Mhm.
theory, it's kind of a perfect thing.
I'm just trying to talk about it as if it's not going to be a factor in my life because I just hate thinking about him wearing a Houston jersey and being good.
I know.
Yeah. I hate him being a positive person in the locker room there.
I know.
They just
Although,
don't
man, the
deserve that.
Rockets, I mean, they're 3-7 in their last 10, but it's just a different, they feel like they have a purpose more now. And apparently they're quote unquote star hunting this trade season.
Yeah.
I just don't know who's going to be available that they would like.
Yeah.
That fits. I do think
LeBron.
the Nets would at least have to kick the tires on something to get their picks back
They've already said no.
on the McHale.
Hmm.
I mean, if that's yes. Is that posturing? Is that real? Like we're in that season
Hmm.
where it's like, are they just saying that to get
Yeah, maybe
more
so.
assets?
Maybe so.
I don't know, because just getting your picks back would make you could do so much more as far as roster rebuild.
Hmm.
But I get it. You also are going to take a pretty substantial step back in Brooklyn. It's like, I don't know. I think that's a market and a team that has to at least stay somewhat relevant.
Yeah. The ownership group has come out saying that they would rather have a mediocre team that competes every night
Yeah.
than tank.
That makes, I don't get it, but I understand it, I guess is what I would say.
Yeah.
What do you think? So we are also moving into the trade deadline, which is next Thursday.
Mhm.
Like I know you and Michele and Alex will have a ton of content on this, but
Mhm.
what's your best guess for the Thunder?
Probably something small would be my guess.
How small?
I mean, I
Like a Caruso small? I know you don't love that.
that would be like a big addition. 'Cause
That
he
you
would,
feel that's big.
I think
PJ
that's-
Washington's a big addition.
Yeah, those are big additions. Because I mean, they would like for sure be in the rotation every night.
Okay.
Kind of guys. I mean, I would be surprised if they don't find a trade partner for Bertans, just because that contract just seems imminently tradable because of the way that it's structured. I would be really surprised if they didn't use that.
And it also goes back to if in case you've forgotten, like if you're listening, you forgot, is earlier in the year they restructured the second year, so it's not dependent on his games played. Although he's already missed that.
I was going
anyway,
to say I still can't quite grasp
how they restructured
the
it.
reasoning for that, but whatever it is, I mean, it's
Guaranteed at like $5 million.
$5 million
next year or whatever.
guaranteed next year, team option. So
19 this
They
year,
have-
5 next year.
yeah, I mean, there's an early termination option on it, and so they could, a team could acquire him and then save a lot of money.
What percentage do you think that the Thunder will make a trade? Like how sure are we feel?
75% chance I think they'll make a trade. Yes.
Ooh.
I think, man, I don't know. I just feel like they have too many picks in this draft. So even if I think a small move that you're talking about that would make sense is like doing one of those where a team that needs like draft picks this next year, but doesn't need them in 5 or 6 years. Some of these contenders that are they need low value contracts or low cost
Mhm.
contracts. Like I could see them, hey, we'll give you the Jazz first this year for your first in 2030.
Yeah.
I know they've already done that with the Nuggets. They've already done
Mhm.
that, and so
Yeah.
here's my prediction. I think that they're going
My
to.
prediction.
I know. I didn't. All right. I actually think they're going to make a move, and it's going to be a player that's going to contribute on the team. this year.
Here's what. Here's. I think I'm smelling what you're stepping in.
And I don't know who it is.
It's called
Chiefs.
3-month
LeBron
rental
James.
LeBron James.
There's like a negative chance that happens here.
Yeah. You're telling me LeBron isn't just eyeing our market? Like,
Uh-huh.
I really
Uh-huh.
need to just I need to
Yeah.
get to Oklahoma City.
Yeah. The Thunder are like, man, how can we spend $60 million on one player who's 40 years old next
Yeah.
year?
Hey,
Taylor, what do you think? Trade deadline.
I just want them to like just swing really big
Mm.
on players that they like. They can. So why not? I don't
Like,
like
overpay.
Yeah, just do it.
Like who?
Any of the Nets guys we've talked about, just whoever they like, just do more than what everyone else. I don't care. I just make a big swing.
Give 3
Just do
first
it.
for Cam Johnson.
well, you know what happens when sometimes we take a big swing, big whiff.
That's fine. You know what else happens when you take a big swing? Dingers, baby. Home runs, boings.
Right.
You just got to go for it. This is the
I
team
think
you
you
have
do.
now. Just go for
I think
it.
you go for it.
I think they should get a big wing shooter. That's what I think.
Jonathan Isaac available? I don't know, man. I'm
He's
just like,
so theoretical.
yeah, I mean, but that feels more in line with what Sam has done in the past, except for the Kendrick move.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to overpay for him, like, sure.
Taylor's been working out.
A big wing. They just are so
He can't shoot
highly
it, though.
valued in the entire NBA. Like, everybody wants a big wing.
Uh-huh.
That's why I want
Yeah,
one.
and we have the assets to get them. We have
Yeah.
way
Yeah, but
more
who's going
assets
to get
than
rid of
the other
one is the
teams.
question. That's
The
that's
Nets.
the struggle.
Nets.
It's like
the Nets.
Speaking of big
So Cam
wings,
Johnson.
Big
Cam
Bird's not small anymore.
Probably Finney Smith or Royce O'Neal. Probably before Cam Johnson would get moved.
It would be.
Why do
I
you
mean,
like that?
any of those
Why do you like
three would feel like, all right, cool, very positive.
just one more
move.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it would.
The Thunder have any likelihood of adding somebody in the buyout market? Do you have somebody asked that question on Twitter, but it's like, are there any candidates for the buyout market that are valuable?
I mean, I don't know. There's always going to be somebody that, like Gordon Hayward, may be bought out. You know, like that's one that I would be interested in.
Mhm.
And we do this every year though with buyout market, where it's like it's every single year. They're rarely
They don't really help.
impactful.
People get excited about. I mean, remember Markeith?
Oh yeah,
Like, how excited were we about Markeith?
Yeah.
Was
How bad was Markeith?
I like Fisher. Obviously,
Derek
Caron
Fisher's
Butler was a
Derek
good one.
Fisher was an impactful one. Caron Butler also felt like, oh my gosh, we got Caron Butler. And
I
they got
know.
here and he was like, man, he is not good.
No,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm going to work.
all right.
Yeah. I mean,
Bye.
rarely are these guys like truly impactful.
who's your dream? Who's your dream for next week?
I mean, the dream would be Cam Johnson.
Okay, what would you give for him?
I would give all the first for this upcoming draft.
Even
Yeah.
your own?
There we go. Now we're cooking.
Yeah.
Cooking with
Yeah.
fish grease.
Because even if they lost every game from here on out, they would still have
Yeah.
a middle of the lottery pick.
Yeah.
Don't.
I would trade
I hate them
Bertans
so
and all the 2020, all the 23.
What are the 3 total Jazz best of like the
24
Clippers,
picks.
Rockets, Thunder, or something?
Yeah, Rockets, Clippers, Jazz,
Yeah.
Thunder.
Give them away.
Just yeah. I would rather, to me, after like watching a lot of the guys in this draft, I would rather have a guy that has like a 3-year contract like Cam does
Yeah.
that you know is going to be good.
Yeah.
Than like draft one of these dudes. There's gonna be a lot of guys in this draft that are get drafted in the first round that have like almost no NBA career.
And I will say that does mean a lot coming from Andrew, because you are usually very optimistic about draft picks and
Yes.
draft guys over guys that are in
Existing
the
players.
NBA.
Yeah.
So if you're saying that, that means that
They're
they
really
do that.
This draft is really bad. I don't like
Which
a lot
stinks
of the
that
guys
it's
in
like
this
that's
draft.
the one that you have 3 or 4 picks in.
Yeah, but then now you have 3 or 4 picks. Just throw them. Go get whoever you want.
They just don't have I mean, if the Thunder don't value him that highly, not everybody else is. So
That's the thing is that the other teams have watched and they're like, yeah, we don't want 3 picks in this draft. Are you kidding? I mean, I don't know. The guys that I mean, Cody Williams is really good. Kyle Filipowski, like guys that I think could play for the Thunder. I'm not even that big on Sarr.
really
Like I don't think Sarr comes into to the league next year and plays an impactful role for the Thunder.
Yeah.
Like he would be
They're not going to get Cody Williams. He's going to go first or second, probably. Filipowski. I mean, maybe that's somebody that
Kyle
could be in the
Filipowski will be like in the mid first round.
And I wonder if the Rockets continue to slide. Like,
yeah,
they're outside of the play-in, so they're, I don't
Mhm.
know. That's not a bad pick right now.
Yeah,
It's not going to be top 3, which is where it's protected.
yeah.
Or top 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that this is one of the most fun times of the NBA season, man.
Yeah.
We've got 1 week. We have the trade deadline. Then the next week, I think, unless my timeline is off, is the All-Star break.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the Thunder are going to be well represented in Indianapolis, and hopefully at the same time able to get some rest and get ready for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And I kind of expect big things coming out of the All-Star break for this team.
Yeah. And to be clear, I would be really surprised if they did something like big, like the Cam Johnson deal.
I think
something
they
like
will.
that. I would be so
Wait
happy.
for it.
I'd be so happy.
Emergency
if
pod.
They did. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I blocked my entire Thursday out for this exact moment.
Yeah.
Mainly because I'm just so easily distracted on trade deadline day.
Yeah. Tune in on the Athletic NBA Show's YouTube page where Dave DeFore and I are going to do a video for every single trade, even if it's just a salary dump.
Oh,
Really? So you're just gonna stay on and just go live right after it
We
happens?
won't go
or-
live. We'll make a video and then it will be published quickly. But then we'll go live after when the bell rings. We're gonna go live with DeFore and Seth Partnow and Modi Keel. I'll be on there too.
Very cool.
So
at some point you'll probably get some down to dunk content too.
if there's a trade too, we'll be going live here for sure.
Oh man, get ready for a
So-
lot of Luke laying down in bed.
He'll be at work.
I was gonna say
Oh yeah.
it's
Well,
the middle of the day. Probably won't get L.
then we won't get Elman.
We're getting a big trade.
I would be so happy if that happened. I have major doubts about it, but that would be so cool.
It's happening.
It'd be so cool. All right. Anything else before we go?
No, Thunder play the Charlotte Hornets tonight here in Oklahoma City.
Yep.
And
Toronto on Sunday.
no guarantee on either one of those games because that's kind of what the Thunder have done in the last 10.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel fairly confident, but who knows?
Yeah.
At least it's not at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Although the Raptors game,
At 6.
okay. That's right. Because next week is the Super Bowl and they play, I think, the Kings at like 2.
Yeah, Kings at 2 p.m.
It's at home, though.
Prepare for weirdness.
I'm going. That's going to be my daughter's first Thunder game.
I'll be there
right.
too.
Kings game.
Wow.
Awesome. So I'll
great.
probably be there for about 20 minutes and then
great.
we'll have to go.
That's great. Yeah.
I'll get her face painted and she'll eat popcorn and then
Stare
we'll
at
probably
Rumble
leave.
for a minute and then leave.
Yeah.
I should look at you and say, why are we here, Dad?
I don't know. Can we go to the park?
I don't like this.
They got rid of
Yeah.
the Thunder Kids Zone. Like they used to have that place where they could run around and shoot
Yeah.
hoops. And that
Yeah.
was a-
They do have a lot of things for kids, though.
oh, yeah.
Still. If you missed it yesterday, Zach Lowe came on the Down to Dunk podcast, and it's on YouTube. It's on the podcast feed. Go check that out.
Fantastic.
Go check
Fantastic.
that out.
Fantastic, man.
And
There's literally nothing else to achieve.
that's it. We should just end the show.
No. I enjoy
Someone
it too
said
much.
Bill Simmons is next. How do you feel about that?
I have no connection to Bill Simmons whatsoever.
Would you do that?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
My wife bought my son because we're
My wife bought my son.
Thanks for listening to our podcast.